What's going on, traders? Mike from CapitalHillFX. In today's video, it's going to be super simple and super concise. We're just going over the weekly market analysis and going over pairs that could potentially play out for this upcoming trading week. Now, I want to go over CHFJPY really quickly, because we actually placed a sell order earlier last week off of this significant daily horizontal level. And we can see that price just whipped through the zone and activated our buy hedge. And a lot of you are asking how I manage my positions whenever the hedge gets activated. And this is a very good example to sort of give you a better idea of how I manage this position. So like I said, I placed a sell order off of this significant daily resistance level, and we could see that price just completely violated the zone. And it looks like we had a very minor break and retest of the zone before continuing back towards the upside. So see the daily time frame, I was just placing a sell off of this significant resistance level. We could see we did not respect it. Once we go down to the hourly time frame, this is actually where my buy hedge was. It's not a stop loss. This is where my buy hedge was. So once we actually whipped towards the upside, my buy hedge got activated, and I was in a buy and a sell. So that basically means if price just started skyrocketing towards the upside, I wouldn't lose or gain any money because I'm in a sell and a buy, right? So what I plan on doing, considering we do have a weekly / daily resistance level above this significant resistance level that we were trading off of, I'm just going to be waiting for price to push into this significant daily / weekly zone, and then I'll be looking for downside movement. But when price actually does move into that significant resistance level, I will then exit the buy hedge in profit, and then I will enter another sell around the significant horizontal level if the price action warrants, and then we will look to profit off of that sell order and probably, hopefully, be able to close out less of a loss than we're currently in on this sell. So that's how I creatively manage these types of positions using hedge orders. You sort of just make another trading decision based on the price action at the next significant horizontal level. That's basically it. And you don't have to close out in a loss, right? That's basically what a stop loss is you're closing out a predetermined risk, and you're not looking at any other trading decisions at that exact moment. When you're hedging positions or you're sort of managing positions using hedge orders, you're able to creatively manage your positions at the next significant horizontal level, and you can make a trading decision at that moment. But anyway, I'm just going to be waiting for price to push into this significant daily resistance level. I'll close out of that buy hedge and profit, and then I'll look for sell orders back towards the downside. And the nice thing about placing sell orders or closing out and break even or a little bit of profit is that we don't really even need that huge of a bearish push, right? Even if price pushes like somewhere right here, and I will take a loss off of this initial trade order right about there, and this could be break even, right? Because we'll lose about 30-40 pips, but we would gain about 30-40 pips with this sell order, and we would profit from this buy hedge. So that's why it's much more manageable to be able to use hedge orders than most people think. Most people think using hedge orders is so scary, and it is if you don't back test it. But if you have a back tested system that proves profitability and you're very familiar with managing positions using hedge orders, it's really not that complicated. If you do it over and over again, just like anything, it's not too complicated. So that's how I'm going to be managing my position on CHFJPY. Let's go into some other currency pairs. GBP USD. Of course, you guys know I start off on the daily time frame, usually with every currency pair. Some of them are the weekly time frame, but right now we're starting off on the daily time frame. We can see that price push really deep into this significant weekly / daily support zone. I did outline a smaller structured zone within the larger zone because you guys know I do like to do that. And we can see that price just did push into the significant smaller structured zone. We're going to go down to the hourly time frame. We can see we did gain some type of bullish candle once we pushed really deep into the zone. We had a very bottom heavy wick, or excuse me, top heavy wick with the position of the real body near the bottom of the candle, and then price actually pushed back towards the upside. What I'll be waiting for is price to test these previous lows yet again and fail to wipe out the lows, and then look for potential upside movement. Just because this seems like a super clear support resistance level, and it looks like we are starting to gain some type of stability. And we did have a very large bearish impulsive move towards the downside. And as we all know, the markets don't just move in one direction, right? We move in impulse and corrective phases. So I would not be surprised if we had a nice little bullish corrective move off of this significant horizontal level. So I will be waiting for more bullish price action, maybe testing the lows before looking for potential upside movement on GBP USD. Let's switch to AUD NZD, daily time frame, of course. I was waiting for price to bounce around the significant daily resistance level, and we did cash out off of this significant horizontal level, me and the premium members. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was just a simple bounce off this horizontal level. It looks like we're going to be violating this zone. We can see the most recent daily candle just closed very bullish, and it doesn't look like we're gaining a lot of bearish price action when we go down to the hourly time frame. We do have some type of pause in the market, but that doesn't exactly mean that we're going to end up dropping towards the downside. It would be interesting if we met these highs and just started forming a lot of bearish price action, position, like the top heavy wicks in the position the real buy near the bottom of the candle, something like this, right? Like a nice bearish impulsive candle or these bottom heavy wicks. That would be pretty nice to see around the significant horizontal level, but I'm going to be quite honest with you, with the daily candle closure, it doesn't look too convincing that price is going to end up bouncing here. So one of two options could play out. It could go up or it could go down. And that's it, right? No. So if price starts to, or if the market's open and we form a bunch of like top heavy wicks and bearish candle closures, like looking towards the downside, and we're wiping out these previous lows and stuff like that, then I would be looking for downside movement. We still could head towards the downside. But what I think will end up happening is that we just completely violate these highs, and an hourly or 4-hour candle closure just absolutely violates this zone. And then I'll be waiting for a retest as potential support before looking for potential upside movement. Either a break and retest or a bounce off of this significant horizontal level, right? That's basically what happens at significant horizontal levels. It either breaks or it bounces. There's nothing else that really happens. We could consolidate for a good amount of time, but we wouldn't really want to trade consolidation, right? So we just want to make sure if we're breaking through the zone that we're actually waiting for it to retest fully before looking for upside move. Or if we spot a lot of bearish price action around these highs, we're looking for a potential sell towards the downside. We're going to switch to Euro CHF, daily time frame, of course. We can see that price did just violate the significant daily support zone. It was very confusing to know if price was now respecting as support or resistance. We could see if we go to the hourly time frame, of course, that we do have a break and retest of this structure, but on the daily time frame, I wasn't certain that we broke and retested it, right? Because even if we pull the zone down a little bit, we could see we're sort of still respecting as support, but if we bring the zone up here, then it looks like it's a break and retest. With these types of setups, I always just go to the next one because it's not super clear of what's playing out, and if it's not super clear, then why trade it? But when we go down to the hourly time frame, it does sort of look like a break and retest, but we could potentially be testing as support. That's why I'm not going to be trading this setup, just because there's so much uncertainty, and it's never a good idea or a good trading decision to trade uncertain markets or uncertain trading decisions. So I'm not going to be trading this just because it's not certain if we have a break and retest or a bounce as a daily support zone. So I'm just going to go to the next one. I'm going to put this in my medium priority. And if you can't tell, on the right hand side, I do prioritize all of my currency pairs, which I highly recommend you doing the same. I get overwhelmed by looking at so many different currency pairs and trying to analyze all of them on the hour-to-hour basis. Maybe categorize your currency pairs, because prioritizing them has helped me tremendously of making sure I'm looking at the certain currency pairs that warrant me to look at it. Daily time frame on GBP CHF, we can see that price is plummeting to the significant daily support zone. Super clear daily horizontal level that has clear intent with direction. This is like the main thing that I'm looking for in a support resistance level, right? Every single time we come here, we bounce, we bounce, we bounce. We barely break through it. It just has super clear intent with direction, very significant. And we've bounced here multiple times, and it's just super, super clear. So this is exactly what we want to see in a horizontal level. I'll be waiting for price to push a little bit deeper into the zone before spotting that bullish price action back towards the upside. We're going to go down to the hourly time frame just to sort of spot the price action for right now. I mean, we have wicked into the significant horizontal level, but you guys know me. I like really deep digs into the zone and then spot that maybe bottom wick, bottom heavy wick, or the tweezer bottom before looking for potential upside movement. So waiting for more bullish price action to form on GBP CHF around the significant daily support zone before looking for potential upside movement. Let's switch into GBP JPY. We are sitting around a significant daily resistance level on GBP JPY, and we cashed out on a sell. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Me and the premium members, off of this little bounce off of this weekly resistance level. We could see we've wicked here previously, and it was also a support resistance level way in the past. Not as super clear, but even if we go back to the weekly time frame, it's a little bit more prevalent. We could see we've wicked around here multiple times and has treated as reversals. So super significant structure in the market. We go down to the daily time frame. We can see prices beginning to pause around this significant structure. We can see on the daily time frame, the candles aren't super clear that we're going to reverse here, right? We're leaving a lot of bottom heavy wicks. And even if we go down to the hourly time frame, yes, we are having a difficult time wiping out the highs, but this hourly support zone is also sketching me out, which is giving me a very good indication that we may not actually wipe out the support zone. If we do wipe out the support zone and then come back for a potential lower high, then I would look for a downside move. So this isn't going to be as much as me entering on price action than it is actually market structure. Like we can see we have a super, super steep uptrend creating higher highs and higher lows. We're not technically creating higher lows right now. But if price does manage to wipe out these lows and then come back for a potential lower high, then I would be looking for a downside move. All this price action could just literally lead to another push and a wipeout of the highs. So that's why I'm a little nervous, and I want to validate that we're actually whipping back to downtrend structure. And the best way to identify if we're going back to downtrend structure is wiping out these previous lows. So that's what I'll be waiting for. I'll be waiting for a wipeout of the previous lows and then looking for potential downside movement on GBP, JPY, because right now just doesn't seem super clear that we're going to be reversing back towards the downside. And maybe this zone won't even be well respected. Maybe it'll be this one up in here. So that's why we want to be able to validate that price is actually going to respect it. And honestly, even me moving this up here, it just looks so much better of a zone like that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, forget what the heck I just said. Like right when I moved up the zone, it just made so much more sense to just wait for this trading setup. So I'm just going to move my alert up to these previous highs, like a weekly, daily highs. So funny I did that, right? So funny I did that real time. I mean, some of you could still trade this zone right here. I mean, it could still reverse here. But I mean, when we talk about significant daily zones, this is just super, super clear. Even if it does end up bouncing towards the downside, who cares? Good riddance. I'm going to be waiting for price to push into this significant horizontal level and then look for downside movement. I have my alerts set right at the previous highs. I'm going to put this in the medium priority, and we're going to keep it pushing. NZD CHF daily time frame. We can see we are pushing towards a set of lows. We can see this support zone is pretty significant. I'm going to be waiting for that bullish price action to form around this significant horizontal level before looking for that potential upside movement. I'm just pointing out a smaller structure zone within the larger zone. And we can see for right now, we are pushing towards the significant horizontal level. It looks like we are sort of having a difficult time wiping out the lows. I'm going to need way more bullish price action to form, like come in meeting the lows, and we're just failing to meet lows. And then we form that bullish impulsive move towards the upside. So a lot of good setups to start off the week. I'm super, super excited to see how the market's open. Euro JPY, stick with me here. A couple more setups here. Daily time frame, we can see we are coming up to a significant daily resistance level, just waiting for price to push into that zone. So funny, so many other traders have like such complicated trading systems, and they say like so much in their analysis. They're looking at RSI, MACD, fundamental data, currency sentiment, and they're telling you all these different nuances. I'm literally just like, yeah, it's coming into a daily resistance level. We'll look to sell. It's like super, super simple, which is good because you understand it way more than all those complicated trading setups. So Euro JPY, just waiting for price to push into this daily resistance level, and then I'll be waiting for bearish price action to look for downside movement. I have my alert set right at the highs, just waiting for price to trigger it. Then last but not least, USD Canadian dollar. I was waiting for price to push deep into this significant daily support zone before looking for potential upside movement. It looks like we just tapped the top half of it. And it looks like we're starting to run towards the upside right now. I'm not going to be FOMOing into a trade or chasing waterfalls. I'm waiting for price to settle back towards the downside, meet the lows, and probably tap this smaller structured zone, and then look for that potential upside movement. So just staying a little bit more patient on USD Canadian dollar. But we do have like a handful or 6 or 7 different trading setups that we really could execute on. GBP USD, waiting for more bullish price action to play out around this significant daily support zone. AUD NZD, waiting to see how price action plays out around this significant resistance level. If we have bearish price action, I'll be looking for sells. If we have a break and retest, then of course I'll be capturing the bounce off of the support zone. GBP CHF, we can see we are beginning to push into this daily support zone. I'll be waiting for price to push a little bit deeper, and then I'll wait for that bullish price action. NZD CHF, we are making our way towards these previous lows, this nice daily support zone. I'll be waiting for price to push a little bit deeper into that smaller structured zone before looking for that bullish price action. Euro JPY, waiting for price to make its way up to that significant daily resistance level, and then I'll be waiting for that bearish price action to confirm that we're validating as resistance, and then look for downside movement. And then last but not least, USD Canadian dollar, I'll be waiting for a push back into that significant daily support zone, bullish price action, and then I'll trigger an entry back towards the upside. If you guys got some value or insight from this video, make sure to drop a like on this YouTube video and go into the Discord server and make sure we get active in that community chat. I want you guys to engage and network with other traders in the community and drop your trading setups. We all are in this as one, so make sure to drop all your trading setups and all your insight and knowledge that you have, because I know you guys do have knowledge and insight in the markets. Make sure to drop it in that community chat, and I can guarantee you will not regret it. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining the server and watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.